How should you fill the Expanse-shaped hole in your heart? Probably not with this. Moonhaven is the new AMC series that just finished its 6-episode first season. The sci-fi series stars Emma McDonald, Dominic Monaghan, and Joe Manganiello. The premise of the series is that humanity and Earth are on the verge of extinction. In a Hail Mary of an experiment, a colony was established on the moon. This isn't some domed base, but rather a literal paradise. An advanced AI named Io landed on the Sea of Tranquility and terraformed a section of the moon. Humans were then shipped there and spent the next 100 years trying to solve every problem Earth has. 100 years have passed, and now the Mooners are ready to return to Earth with their wonderful gifts. Too bad there's murder afoot. Between the hard sci-fi trappings and the somber cello music intro, it's very clear what this series is trying to be. The Expanse has ended, but I think its influence is only beginning. Moonhaven is a clear example of that. However, while The Expanse presented a masterfully crafted world with endless nuance, Moonhaven wears everything on its sleeve. The Belters had their own language that felt dense and yet never required too much explanation. Even if you didn't get each word, you felt the patter and the context.
Day's coming soon, Kea. And when the blood is on the wall, Sasake, which side you're on?
Yeah, I'll know.
The residents of Moonhaven have their own language, but it often requires various scenes where people explain their impenetrable slang to Earther Bella Sway.
Frost angle. It's a knot. Like a knot you don't know how to untie. Felt it last night.
There's also a lack of expanse in the political nuance of Moonhaven. The people you think are bad when you first meet them pretty much end up bad. They're also doing things for the exact reason you probably think they are. Every decision on the show revolves around Moonhaven and the bridge. This is the event where Mooners return to Earth with their wonderful gifts. That's as much of the setup as I'll explain before I get too into spoilers. But before I do, I just want to say there are still things to like in this series. The show has some unique and clever ideas. While its moon language is slightly cringy and impenetrable, it's at least trying to use an oft-neglected aspect of world building. There's also an inventiveness to the technology of the moon. Everything is made of wood because of the abundance of trees and a lack of metal. However, the tech is woven into the very grain of the oak they use. Fire control is important as well, so we get a cool Ghostbusters trap for home blazes. I even like the little spinning MP3 player. The acting from the show's two leads really help carry the dialogue. Dominic Monaghan is used to bringing weight and meaning to jargon-filled dialogue. This is a man who somehow found the most dramatic way to say Buckleberry Ferry.
Buckleberry Ferry, follow me.
Emma McDonald also brings a believability to Bella Sway and her reaction to the strange, cult-like behavior of Moonhaven's residents. She often leans a little too much on the whole hard exterior, wounded soul motivation at first, but I buy her arc over the series. If there is a standout in the whole show, it's Kadeem Hardison. His character Arlo is the easiest to like in the series. This detective and partner to Monaghan's Paul Sarno is full of surprises as the show progresses. Hardison has had a long career in film and television, but here he really gets to flex as an actor. It also doesn't hurt that Arlo is possibly the best character in the series. Okay people, let's get into some spoilers. If you want to avoid them, you can skip to this time code for my final synopsis. If I have a big complaint about the series, it's the reveal that there are aliens. Several times in the series, there is this small, strange-eyed child. It's sort of left a mystery whether she is real or a vision, until she leaps out of the trees and clobbers Bella like the feral kid from Road Warrior. It's a pretty laughable reveal that's meant to be shocking. The decision to include aliens feels like it's coming from a few creative directions. The first is the inevitable thought process that if it's set in space, you gotta involve aliens somehow. This is more forgivable. Even shows like Red Dwarf, which is often cited as an example of a space show without aliens, still has cat people and shapeshifters. The other thought is more tied to Moonhaven's main influence, The Expanse. The book series by the two men in a trench coat that is James S.A. Corey featured a story of political turmoil suddenly disrupted by the technology of a long-dead alien race. Moonhaven seems set on copying The Expanse's dance moves, but as an audience we're left without the music. I'm very proud of that metaphor. It probably shouldn't be. The other complaint I have about the series is the one-dimensional and predictable villains. While there is a late season twist involving Earth's ambassador, it's telegraphed pretty obviously by the middle of the season. Overall, Moonhaven is a mostly enjoyable show with a pretty good first season. However, it's quickly going to have to grow beyond the Expanse knockoff it currently is. While there are some neat ideas, it really doesn't go beyond what will now be the tropes of this kind of sci-fi series. Moonhaven gets a 3 out of 5. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe to help support the channel, help us grow. Share us around too if you know somebody that would enjoy this content. We've got other videos on the channel, other reviews, some essays, stuff coming up, a lot of fun. Keep an eye out for that. Alright everybody, stay safe and be who you are.